Hi, I'm Sense, just another face of you, and I invite you to close your eyes with me and sit in the motion of nothing, where we are not ailed by perceived barriers and are free to just be with all as we are, just as we are. Practicing compassion over ego to eliminate common arguments born off misunderstandings of emotional languages. Sometimes our emotional experience of a shared experience blocks us from the other's emotional experience of it. This can result in severe miscommunication that often forms itself as an argument. What we fail to realize in these moments is that to hear and respect their emotional experience, no matter how different or even opposing it may feel against ours, it does not and will not invalidate ours. They both exist. Both of them naturally flow from the same experience, so really neither have the ability to be wrong. It's how we handle theirs and our own that can be wrong. Always choose softness. Hear the person. Practice in this moment loving restraint of your own need to overexert your emotional expression in order for it to be validated against theirs. In doing this, you take ego from its head and leading with humility instead, with heart, as it is ego that sees different emotional standpoints as some form of competition in which we need to defend ours through inflation of some kind. Your emotions can be loud and valid without you adding volume to its voice or action to its movement. When you practice restraint of this ego in such a way, the ego-stemmed need that you have formulated, and allow yourself to hear the other emotional perspective instead, the one that sits across from you in this situation, you allow wisdom to find connection, but most importantly, you allow for compassion to be seated within that, and it'll touch you and the person involved. It is for you and for them. Energy will always speak louder than action and words that we create around them, because energy is within everything. The rest is a choice. The only place we can go wrong, and so the only place our consciousness needs to be able to be aware and make certain practices with. The main thing to keep in mind when making these practices is, am I being kind? Am I thinking from ego? Am I being compassionate? Am I allowing in this situation the space for compassion to touch us? Because to allow compassion to touch yourself, it must touch the person involved, or it is not true compassion. There is ego somewhere within there. And if you are allowing love to be involved for yourself, then you are allowing it to be involved for the other person, because if it does not reach them, then that love that you think you might be giving to yourself or the situation, again, has to some degree the infection of ego. So think about what you are bringing into the situation. Is it of love? Is it soft? Is it compassionate? Because whatever you bring, it must be able to touch all those involved. Or else, if it is just touching you, or just touching a few, then to some degree, the ego is at play, destructing what could be so much more for all of you, and creating emotional miscommunication that can really end and violate beautiful connections and the amazing manifestations that can come from them. Do not abuse yourself or anyone else or the space you are in with this. You are so much more, and there is so much power in your emotional being. Prana, God, wilderness, and finding ways to express it back out into this world of matter.